In this video, I'll be talking about the list data structure in Python, and then I'll be talking about how to create a list, how to access list elements, how to modify list elements, the different list methods, slicing list, iterating over list, list comprehension, and nested list. Okay, so before we start, I would love to explain what a list is. So lists are ordered, that is, they are arranged and in sequence. Okay, they are ordered and mutable collection of items. When I say mutable, I mean that elements in the list can be changed, and list can also contain items of different data types. So in a single list, you can have string, you can have boolean, you can have float, you can have integer. Okay, so now I'll start off with creating a list. So to create a list, you need the variable, and then insert the list in square bracket. So for instance, if I want to create a list of fruits, I'll call the list fruits. This is the variable, and then to create the list, it has to be in square bracket. Let me say orange, apple, pawpaw. Okay, let me add other data types so you can see exactly how it works. So let me say 2 and say 3.44. so now to see the result of what I've created, to see the output rather, use the inbuilt function print the variable fruits. So basically this is the list created. So this is basically how to create a list in Python. The next thing I'll show you is how to access elements in the list. So before I show you that, I would love to explain that each list has a specific index number starting from 0. So orange has index 0, apple index 1, purple index 2, index 3, and index 4. You can as well index backward. To index backward, 3.44 is -1, -2, -3, -4, and -5. So orange is index 0 and -5. Okay, so now for instance, if I want to print only orange, or let me say if I want to print only orange in this list, print fruits in orange is index 0. Okay, can you see that orange has been printed? Orange is also index -5. So if I print this, I'll still get orange. So basically this is how to access elements in a list. The next thing I would love to show you is how to modify a list. For instance, if I want to change the element 2 to mango, for instance, so to do that, call the variable fruits, and then the index number of the element I want to replace. So 2 is index 1, 0, 1, 2, 3. Index 3 equal to, I want to call it let me say guava. So let me print to see what I've done. Print fruits. So basically the element 2 has been modified. So this is basically how to change an element to another element. Okay, so the next thing I would love to show you is the different list method. So within this list, I can insert a new element, I can delete, I can sort the elements, I can clear every item in this element, I can count the total number of elements in the list, I can do different things within this list. Okay, so let me start off with adding a new item to this list. For instance, I want to add cucumber to this list. So to do that, type in the variable fruit and then append. This is the inbuilt function in use. Append. I want to append cucumber to the list. So let me print to see exactly what I've done. Fruits. So cucumber has been appended. For append adds element to the end of the list. Okay, but you can specify the position in which you want to insert an element to the list. So to do that, you use the inbuilt function insert to specify the index where you want to insert your new element. So to do that, still type in the variable and then use the inbuilt function insert, not index, insert. Okay, insert. So I want to insert let me say coconut to index 3. So type in the index and then the name of the element you want to insert, coconut. So let me print to see what I've done. Fruits. Okay, so coconut has been inserted. So you can insert elements to different locations in a list using the insert function. Okay, and then the next inbuilt function that can be used to modify a list is remove. Okay, for instance, if I want to remove this 3.44 from this list, I'll use the keyword, use the inbuilt function remove, fruits dot remove. Okay, so 3.44. so let me print to see fruits. So basically we've removed this particular element from the list. Okay, now you can actually sort the element in ascending or descending order. So to sort the element in ascending or descending order, call the variable and then the inbuilt function sort. So sort alone, by default we sort the elements in ascending order. Okay, let me print this to show you exactly how it works. Okay, so as you can see, it has been sorted in ascending order. So to sort in descending order, you type in reverse equal to true. This will reverse, this will sort in descending order. So can you see that? So this is basically how to sort in ascending or descending order. And also you can reverse your list. If you want to take the last items to the starting point, and the starting element to the last point, you reverse. Okay, so to do that, use the inbuilt function reverse to do that. Then let me print to see. Print fruits. So basically everything has been, all the elements has been reversed. Okay, so now you can actually count the total number of elements in a list. Okay, if you want to find the total number of elements in a list, to count the total number of elements in a list, use the len. Print len. This helps count the total number of elements in a list, the len inbuilt function. Okay, so now we have 6 elements in this list. So if, for instance, let me say orange appeared more than once, okay, to add an element multiple times in a list, okay, to do that, you use the extend fruits dot, use the extend inbuilt function, extend. Okay, let me say I want to extend orange. I want to do that like 3 times. Okay, I can do for 4 times, as much as I want, but for this video I will do for 3 times. Okay, now print fruits. Okay, what did I do wrong? Okay. All right, so yeah, so orange has been appended 3 times. So this is how to insert an element multiple times in a list. So now if I want to find out the total number of time orange appears in this list, I'll use the keyword, the inbuilt function rather, count. So for instance, fruits dot count, use the count. I want to count orange. Okay, so orange appears 4 times. Okay, so now let me say I want to delete all the elements in this list. To do that, to delete all the elements in the list, use the inbuilt function clear. All the variable fruits dot, use the clear. Okay, so this will delete everything. Let me print to see what we've done. Fruits. Okay, so basically all the items in the list has been deleted. So now the next thing I would love to talk about is slicing a list. Okay, so let me show you how to slice a list. So for instance, we have a list 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Okay, and then you want to just print from 3 to 6. Print list. Let me say I want to print from 3 to 6. So remember, 3 is index 2. Okay, so 2 This colon is used to select a range of values. So we want to print from 3 to 6. Okay, so this is trying to say print variables in the list from index 2 to 6. Okay, so this is basically how to slice a list. Using this true, you can specify the range of value you want to slice out. Okay, and then double colon print list double colon. What this double colon does is that it prints all the items in a list. That is what the double colon does. Can you see it has printed all the items in the list? Okay, now you can print the reverse. That is, you can print from 8 to 1. Okay, to do that you can use the remember I told you that from backward it's -1, -2, -3. Okay, so now minus, if you do -1, what this -1 simply means is that it will step once. Let me show you that it steps once, so you can step twice. That is, pick this, remove, step twice and pick the next, step twice and pick the next, pick the next, step and pick the next. Okay, so can you see that picked 8, it skipped this and printed the second one, it skipped this and printed the second one, it skipped this and printed the second one. Okay, so this basically, this is just like a step on how it should print the list. Let me show you another example. For instance, I want to print all the elements from 1 to 5. I want to print everything from 1 to 5. I can just use the colon 5. Okay, so true 5. Okay, so this is how to display. Maybe for instance I want to print all the elements from 5 to the end. To print all the elements from 5 to the end, now you say 5 true. So this is basically how to slice elements in a list. So the next thing I would love to show you is iterating over a list. This is just basically like leaping over a list. Okay, let me say for instance we have this list and then I want to iterate. This is for I in list, comma. Now what this simply means is that for each element in this list, that is what it means. For each element in this list, what do you want to do? For instance, let me say for each element in this list I want to multiply them by 2. Okay, so to do that I can say print that element, which is I, multiplied by 2. Okay, now it picked an element from the first element in the list, which is 1, and then multiplied it by 2. It picked the second one, multiply it by 2, pick the third one, multiply it by 2. Okay, so this is basically how to iterate over a list. You can do different things. You can pick an element and do different things with it. Okay, and it continues for all the elements. It's like repeating a block of code for all the elements. So the next thing I would love to talk about is list comprehension. Okay, So list comprehension is just a way to create a new list from an existing list. If for instance now this list we have here already, for instance this list we have here already, I want to print only the even numbers in this list. For instance, I want to print only the even numbers in this list. Okay, before then, let me show you the basic syntax for list comprehension. Basic syntax. Okay, so the basic syntax is expression. That is, what do you want to do with this list? Like here I did 1 times 2. This is an expression of what I want to do with the list. Okay, then you will now iterate over the list for elements in variable. Remember, variable is the name of the list. It's what you call the list. Like for instance, this list here is a variable. Okay, and then the elements here. This is basically how the basic syntax of list comprehension. You can actually add condition. This is basic syntax, but you can add condition to it. You can add, this is optional. Okay, so now let me say for instance I want to get out, for instance I want to get out the square of all the items in the list created previously. So to do that, let me call this new list. Okay, new list is for I in list. What this does is that it picks each item in the list, and then my expression is now going to be I multiplied by 2. Okay, here is what is going to happen. I didn't print new list. Okay, can you see that? Just basically what we did here. Let me say for instance I want to now print everything is actually even numbers here. Everything is even numbers here. Okay, let me say I want to print the odd numbers in this list. So if I modulus 2 is not equal to 0, so you see I will have no okay, 14 can be divided by 2. Okay, why am I getting 6? 6 is divisible by 2. It's an even number. Okay, but basically you can add a condition. To this. Okay, so let me do another example to further explain further explain this, let me see. For instance, I have let me say I have num equal to say 3, 2, 5, 4, 6. Okay, then my new list should not be, okay, let me leave it at I, but let me change this to num. Okay, so let me see that. So basically what this does is that it picks the item in the list 3 multiplied by 2, picks this and multiplied by 2. Okay, everything here is still. So now if I modulus 2 is equal to 0, that is what I want to print, equal to 0. Okay, so these are our even numbers. All right, so the next thing I would love to show you is nested, how to nest a list. Okay, nested lists. This is actually usually done when you have two lists in. When you have two lists, you can nest it. So let me see. For instance, I have list 1. For instance, I have list 1. Let me say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then I have list 2. Let me say A, B. Okay, so now I want to nest this list. So this is the new variable to nest my list, because I will need to print my nested list. That's the reason I'm giving it a variable. Okay, so let me say, oh, I didn't show you the basic syntax. Okay, so the basic syntax for nesting a list is just the same thing here, but you have to do for element in variable twice. Okay, so now for I in list 1, for Y in list 2. Okay, let me say I want to, let me print I and Y. So let me print pair. So basically how nesting works here is that the first list picks every element in the second list, 1 and A, 1 and B, 2 and A, 2 and B, 3 and A, 3 and B. That's where it goes on and on and on. So basically this is the end of the video. So in this video you've learned how to create a list, how to access, modify the list, slice list, iterate over a list, list comprehension, and nested list. So thank you very much for watching this video. See you in our next video. Bye.